Does having a good product or service guarantee you success? Hmm. Did you know that over 70% of entrepreneurs attribute their success to self-confidence? So today we're talking about, does the fact that self-confidence or confidence in general play a key role in your business success as well as your life? Now, if 70% of entrepreneurs attribute their success to their self confidence, that really might explain why we have so many influencers or people who have products that really don't match up to their expertise nor their experience. It's surprising, though, this fact that it's going to highlight the fact that confidence is going to play a crucial role, though, in business. No confidence means probably no people, and no people means no business, not even a hobby, if you would. So, as we come to the couch today to get real again, we explore how confidence influences the entrepreneurial success and why it's considered the soul of business. Oh, yeah, you probably didn't think it had anything to do with our faith. It does a whole lot. But don't turn me off just yet. Practical application as well as your next level or next steps to up level your confidence awaits you. Oh, it's a crown adjusting moment coming up. I am so confident that you're going to get so much value from this video. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and like the video now, even before I give you the information. How's that for confidence? Well, let's talk about why we need confidence before we jump into it. We need it for sales, right? People are not going to buy your product if they're not confident in your product and if you're not confident in selling or even offering the product to them. We need confidence so that we then become more visible. We become findable for others. There's a whole need for that. But there are some issues, some challenges if we don't have any confidence. If we lack confidence, then we got some of that fear of failure. Oh, I'm not going to really make it. Nobody's going to really listen to me. They won't buy my product. If we're saying that to ourselves up front, oh, it's not going to happen. It also leads to what we call decision paralysis. You end up not making a decision because you're not confident that what you have to offer is going to help. This all hinders our business growth. So we're going to jump in today into the differences, the different aspects of confidence. It includes the self-belief. What are you saying to yourself? That self-talk. It includes the resilience, how you're going to get over when things don't go your way. Your ability to take risks. Are you willing to be a decision maker and not have the decision paralysis? It also is going to affect your leadership. So we've got so much to delve in today. Let's jump right in with number one. That is, practically speaking, we're going to break this down. Number one, what confidence is going to give to you? And I like to make it simple. And my word for this is commitment. Ultimately, that's what you're going to get if you are confident. What do I mean by that? Number one, you will be motivated. Motivation is an attitude adjuster. Oh, if I am motivated to do something, I'm going to get up and do it. If I've got a great enough why, you've heard that before, I will go ahead and do it. I'm going to be confident. I need to get this done. So I'm already motivated. Confidence says that I know I have this ability. I know what I have to offer is going to help. And because of that, I'm motivated to actually go ahead and do it. That you can't shut me down. You can't sit me down. You can't shut me up. My voice needs to be heard. And I want to then raise my hand. Remember, welcome back, Cotter. I don't even know why that came to my mind, but always, ooh, 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 I got to raise my hand. Why? Because I'm confident that I've got the answer. I'm confident that I am the person. And the motivation that I have then is going to help me adjust my attitude when I might not be feeling my very best. However, we have to look at the fact of who is actually motivating you. If you're listening to outside individuals and they can cause hurt and harm and danger to us, that's going to diminish our confidence. But we need to recognize that if we have the confidence on the inside that comes from the God that we serve and we've got purpose behind it, then we can be like a Joseph. Joseph says, I had this dream. This dream came from God, and I don't care who else I tell. Now, he did tell the wrong people. Let's just be real. He told his brothers about it and they tried to shut him up, but it did not stop him. Hey, you're going to end up bowing to me. But that's what God said, and that's where we go, right? What is God purposed for you to do? What is going to truly motivate you is when you know deep down in your heart that you're doing what you've been called to do. You won't shrink back from that. You won't step back. You won't sit back. You will stand up and you will get it done because you're motivated by fulfillment and purpose. The other thing it's going to give you is you're going to then take action. I call this the action igniter. We're not going to have decision paralysis any longer, but instead we're going to move on what we believe is actually going to assist and help us to get to where we need to go. Oh, we're not going to play small any longer because we recognize there's something more for me to do. There's another level for me to go to. See, every decision that we make is a seed to a season. We want pregnant platforms, so we want to get on that platform. We want it to then materialize into more opportunities, more things that we can do, more creative ability, more ability to control or to even see our destinies really come to pass. A decision is a seed to a season of abundance, a season of opportunity. Or it can be stagnation if we don't make that decision. Let me just tell you, there's a difference by illustration, a difference in you knowing you look good. Okay, when you have your outfit all put together and you look so good, you're going to show up differently than if you're pulling on your shirt or you're going, you know what, this is itching and it's just not feeling right. One of the things I tell my ladies that are going through grief, when you're having these transition seasons, there is some grief that is typically involved in that. And so when you're feeling down and not necessarily in a depressed state, but it can resemble some of that, I tell them to get 5 outfits out that they know they feel confident, they feel their very best in, they know they look good in it. And not just the outfit alone, but all the accessories that go along with it, the shoes, the bag, the jewelry, everything. That way, when someone asks you, hey, I want to go to this concert or I want to go to this play or I want to go to this networking event, you already have the outfit out so you don't have to make that decision any longer. But what's that going to do? That outfit is going to change the game for you because once you put it on, you feel better. See, confidence is an indicator that one, you're motivated and you feel good about you. When you feel good about you, you're motivated to go. You're motivated to do. You're motivated to present. You're motivated to take action. That's just number one. But let me just say, I know you're probably fired up by now and you said, but wait a minute, I still need to get some sales. You're absolutely right. You can have that confidence on the inside. And just because you're fired up does not mean that you're going to get sales. Kind of bordering on arrogance, possibly. But you've got to hear point number 2, because it is really the game changer. It's how do you develop this confidence? One word again, competence. Ooh, you gotta be prepared. You gotta know your stuff. You can't be confident if you've never lived it, if you've never experienced it, if you've never learned it, right? But preparation, I'm gonna tell you the number one thing that you need to prepare for. And you're probably thinking it's the material. No, material is important. We're gonna get there. But the number one thing that you need to have on your mind in preparation is what is your goal? That's right. You're going to think about what is the end. You have the end in mind before you begin. Think about any great movie you've ever watched. I guarantee you, the script writer knew what they wanted to end with before they started writing, before they developed the characters, before they identified the climax, before they knew what was going to happen. Do you think that someone that is playing a role in a movie is really caught off guard when someone comes around the corner? No, they knew they were coming around the corner. So they were prepared for it. That's why in all these action movies that we like to watch, at least I like to watch, the good is always going to win out over evil, and they're ready to hit them and punch them and shoot them or whatever they're going to do. They're prepared because they know. So know your goal. Have your goal in mind. And then the second thing is make sure you're prepared with your material. Know your information. There's nothing like getting up to present to others and you not know the information. You're trying to watch the screen, and especially, well, if you have any slide presentation, that means you prepared a little bit. But if you don't know the information that's contained within the slides, what if the AV equipment goes out and you can't do it? Hmm. You want to be competent. You want to be seen as competent. That builds your confidence. Because if you know your material, oh, you walk in with a different air, a different flair. No arrogance, just confident, right? So you've got to know the information. You've got to know your goal and you've got to know your information. But thirdly, you got to know your audience. Decide ahead of time what you want them to know, what you want them to do, and what you want them to think. All of those things are paramount. Why? When I know who I'm talking to, I know where I can direct them. When I know who I'm talking to, I know what pain points they might have and what issues they might be going through in their mind. So, what do I have to overcome? What objections do I have to make sure that I take care of up front? All of those things go into not only the goal, but the material as well as the audience. So, preparation is key. Just recently on one of the Queenpreneur Accelerator group meetings, one individual came in saying, "Hey, I'm getting ready to do a summit." And yes, she was preparing for this summit, and I needed her to be positioned and seen as the expert. But she had other people who were going to be presenting as well at this summit. Well, we went through the flow of the summit, making sure, number one, what is the goal? If the goal is you want people to book appointments with you, then you need to set up your schedule, set up the summit in such a way that they are going to then take that direction that you're giving them. All right. I do the same thing for presentation preparation. Recently, I told you, or if you guys have been following me, I went to St. Croix. And in going on this relaxing, recalibrating retreat, if you would, solo, I went, but I knew I had to prepare for some presentations that were coming up. I got both things done at the same time. I adequately prepared. And I will tell you, in that time period, my number one thing I was thinking about is who are the people that are coming and how can I serve them at the highest level? All of those things are important and that's part of preparation, but that helps with our confidence. The second thing under this competence though is perspective. You have to adjust your crown. How do you see what you see? How do you see yourself? How do you see your material? How do you see your service? How do you see the goods that you or the product that you offer? And this is where that biblical based affirmations come into play. I say biblically based because just having affirmations to say, I'm going to get some clients. I am going to be the best in my area. I am going to be the number one person that others are coming to is not going to help. It's a start. But when it's based in scripture, when you know this is what God says about you, and when you know it's part of his promises that he gives to you, that changes the game. Oh, you probably didn't think entrepreneurship was spiritual, but there is a spiritual component. Do I believe? Do I have faith? Do I trust that what God has purposed for me to do, I am fulfilling? So yes, affirmations are going to be important. And let me tell you, all of 2024, I did nothing but affirmations, right? You can go look at that playlist. And I put it in a playlist here on YouTube, as well as, I mean, if you're on podcast listening, you can go to YouTube channel and you can watch that playlist. I put it there. Why? Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I was in need of continuing to affirm myself. And I wanted to find those promises, those principles that God had. I can't stand on these principles and walk out the promises if I don't know that they exist. So I'm telling you, go check them out, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, whether it's business related, they're all there because God talks about our entire life. Every good and every perfect gift comes from above. It comes from God, and he wants to make sure that we have the provision that we need and we have the protection that we need. All right. So affirmation playlist, definitely go get that. You definitely need to have these affirmations, listening to them in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, whenever you're feeling a little bit low or you just need a little pick me up. That's going to build your confidence before you go. Another thing that you can do, pre-game warm up, if you would, is review your client results. This helps with the self-talk. Oh, if they got the results, I know I can get those results for somebody else. Because what? I've done it before. I've gone through the crisis. I've also got the credentials. I know it can work for them. So when I know this and I review this, I rehearse this, I feel better. My shoulders then go back and I am ready to start the day. I am ready to handle that sales call. I'm ready to do it again. But let me just say this, just because you're confident, right? You're committed to it, you're going to show up. Just because you know you're competent, you're adequately prepared, and you've got the right perspective. Well, don't turn me off just yet. You are competent and self confident, but there is still a missing piece, and others will see it. And that's why I don't want you to go anywhere, because it has to do with your relationship to your audience. Not only what are you going to get out of it when you are more confident or how you develop it, but it's what will others see? What will your audience get? When you're really not concerned about your audience, it looks like you just are transactional. You're just all about the money, possibly, and you don't care about the people. What you really get with confidence when you really add this relational intelligence, this emotional intelligence into it, is you get conversions. Because what your audience gets, what other people get from your confidence is certainty. They know that you know. And if they know that you know it and you're seen as an expert, they have this sense that you might be the right person for them. They feel that you care about them and you want to see them prosper and to do better and to get to that next level. So certainty then allows them to be able to convert to whatever you're asking them to do. What also they get is encouragement. Encouragement that does lead to additional confidence and confidence in them. So it becomes contagious. You're right. I'm working on these C's today. Yeah, they get the certainty, they get the contagiousness of the encouragement that they can also be confident. Let me just say, there's so many that have been following me for a long time. And sometimes I get the email, sometimes I get the post notices or the comments on my post that says, thank you for this encouragement. I needed that today. They might have been following me for a long time. You might have been following me for a long time, but you haven't pulled the trigger yet. And sometimes it takes time to pull the trigger because you're trying to get to that certainty that you're the right one. I can put you in that box. But a greater story, if I can share this with you on the entrepreneurial journey, is I had an opportunity to meet with Jacqueline, and sometimes I post those testimonials. But she came into a strategy session with me thinking, I don't know if I can charge. But here's the kicker. She had been working in that area for so long. She had been paid by somebody else for that exact same expertise that she was now getting ready to charge for in her coaching business. But she was afraid to charge. She didn't know what to charge. She didn't know what to do. But by the time we finished that little 1 hour block of time, she was confident. She said, you changed my entire mindset. I can do this. I mean, she went on to write 6 different books. I mean, she was helping middle school students. Come on. They need to know her. They need to experience her. They needed the confidence in her so that they would then turn around and have confidence in themselves. Yeah. Jacqueline is an excellent opportunity, an excellent example of the fact that you can do that too. And sometimes it's just a minor tweak in your confidence. But here's what I'm going to say to you. I am so glad that you stayed to the end of this, because I always try to do just 3 because I don't want to keep you here too long, but I want to give you great value. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like it, But I am so glad that you stayed because guess what? It tells me that you're committed and that you have a desire to up level wherever you are right now. That's next level thinking. And I am super excited about you being here at this juncture. Now, typically, I offer you a free resource, but not today. Mm-mm. You have shown me that you are committed. You're showing me that you want the confidence. You're showing me that you are ready to go to that next level. You have displayed confidence, and I believe that you're ready to take action. So I have limited spots that are available in the Queenpreneur Accelerator program. Yeah, when I say limited spots, I only take 12 people at a time in any particular group. And I want you to audition for it because I know that you're probably tired of playing small. Not probably, you're definitely tired of playing small. And you want to see your business 10 times greater than where you are today. You want to see it 10x. That's right. You want fulfillment as well as the funds. You want to make a difference as well as a dollar. You want to be findable because if you're not findable, people don't know you exist. And there are too many people out there giving shortcuts and making folks skeptical because they're not giving the right expertise. And you've got the goods. You know that you want more, and next level is time. You know that you want to develop your confidence and you want to see the conversions. I'm telling you, don't shortchange yourself today. I need you to invest in you and in your next level. And let me just say, it can be scary stepping out. It's like turbulence on a plane. You know, when you're flying in a plane and all of a sudden you get that dip, whew, it's like your heart drops to the pit of your stomach. Yeah, that might be how it feels because you know you're getting ready to step into the unknown, but there are opportunities, it's possibilities, it's absolutely fantastic. Just because you had turbulence doesn't mean that you stop flying. You are seeing the city on the other side. You're seeing the relationships of the people that you're going to meet on the other side. You know what's waiting for you when you deplane, that you're going to keep flying because you want to get there. I did it in my own life and in my own business. And I'm believing that this is your season too. So don't let the cost of inaction rob you any longer of your destiny. I want you to go to my website, shantahaynes.com/queen, and I want you to audition for the Queenpreneur Accelerator program. You're going to get a blueprint to reach your next level, even if the Queenpreneur Accelerator program is not right for you. And I will tell you if it's not right for you. All right. So, yes, does confidence hold the key to business success? I believe it does. And I believe you are ready to move forward. I'm Dr. Chonta Haynes with Heart to Heart Truth Ministries. I'm empowering queens just like you to reimagine, reinvent, and reframe for your next level. I'm helping you put feet to your faith so that you can walk victoriously. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your week. God bless.